Hey everyone, welcome to our webinar today. I'm Elsif McDonald and I'm the VP of Sales here, which means my team and I get to work with farmers as they plan, set up, and run their businesses. So today we're going to talk in more detail about running a greenhouse. As you know, ZipGrow towers are a great fit for growing in a greenhouse, but today we want to dive into more specifics. So today we're going to talk about a greenhouse that's 20 feet wide by 48 feet long. So this is a very nice starting size if you're looking to get started with a greenhouse. In a system this size, we can fit about 150 of our ZipGrow towers, and we also have room at the end for some tanks and a plumbing package with an IntelliDose that helps keep everything on track. So with all of this, as well as that greenhouse, you're looking at a starting price of around $27,000. So this is a newer package we're offering as more of a turnkey solution. There's still some work to do on your own, but we're making it a lot easier than it has been in the past. So stay tuned for more details on this package. So with this amount of towers in the greenhouse and a 50-50 split between lettuce and basil, we're going to review our production potential here. So with 75 towers growing basil and 75 towers growing lettuce, we're actually seeing about 4 pounds per tower for both of those crops. And the cycle time is about the same as well. So we're assuming a 5-week cycle time. As well as the 50-50 split between basil and lettuce, we're also assuming a 50-50 split between sales for retail and wholesale. So this means you're selling half of your basil direct to consumer and half of your basil to a grocery store or another wholesale customer. Same goes with the lettuce. So it's an equal split across the board. For pricing, you'll see down here we have $3.50 a pound wholesale for the lettuce and $5.50 a pound retail for the lettuce. When we jump down to herbs, we're going to be talking about this price in terms of ounces. And so we're looking at $2 an ounce wholesale and $3 an ounce retail. So with these numbers, if you multiply it out with that 5-week cycle, we're actually looking at a potential revenue of $133,000. Now, here in Wyoming, it gets a little bit darker in the winter, and I'm sure you have that fluctuation depending on where you're at as well. So for this example, I'm actually just going to take 75% of this potential production. So that gives me a potential of $103,000 per year. And the way I multiplied this out was just taking 4 months, assuming I'll be at 50% in the middle of the winter when it gets a little dark here. And then in the summer, we have those 4 months of 100% production. And then those 2 months in the spring and fall, we're looking at 75% production. So you'll need to adjust depending on where you're at, but this is a good starting point for us here in Wyoming. Now that we have that revenue number, let's take a look at what costs are associated with running this greenhouse. Let's start down here with our largest cost, which is labor. That makes up about 15% of that $103,000 in revenue we just figured out. This is calculated at 20 hours per week and $15 an hour. Next, we have utilities making 7.5% of our total. And this would include electricity usage for pumps, some heating and cooling. This would go up if you were going to use supplemental lighting, but your revenue should also increase if you're going to be using supplemental lighting. Next, we have rent, which is equivalent to 5.8%, and we're just assuming $500 a month for the piece of land that you're putting this greenhouse on. At 5%, we have your cost of goods sold, so this includes fertilizer, plugs, packaging, all of your direct inputs. Getting down here to 2.3%, this is allocated towards insurance and any regulatory costs you incur. At 1.2%, we have any transportation costs. This is really just fuel. We used a calculation of 2 deliveries a week and average of 20 miles per delivery. Finally, down here, we allocated 2% to any miscellaneous items like marketing, accounting, legal, any services you might need to help run your business. So this all adds up to 39%. That leaves a really big profit margin here, 61%, which is awesome. But of course, it comes down to your market and how much you can actually sell at what price point. These costs are very reasonable, but if you don't have the sales there, it's not going to happen. So if you're serious about farming, the next best step is to download the market research bundle and start talking with customers. You don't know if you have a feasible business until you know the market pricing for your area. Once you have these numbers, the business planning becomes a lot easier and you can make a really clear decision as to whether or not to pursue a farm. If you know you're ready to start a farm, get in touch with our team. We have greenhouse bundles put together for you and we can get you up and running really quickly. We're looking forward to working with you.